Hey guys, it's Roxy. Today I'm doing a review on a knife that I've gotten recently. So let's just jump right into it. This knife is the most beast of a knife that I have, and you probably know what it is from that description. It's from my friend Tex Grebner. It is the Cold Steel Recon 1, the 2010 version. Mine is Tanto with partially serrated edge. It's kind of smudgy. This knife is the only way you can describe it. It's really just a wicked knife. It is. If my battery dies, I'm gonna be really pissed. But this knife's really awesome. So I'm just gonna get the specs out of the way. Like I said, it's the Recon 1. You can see right there. My camera doesn't really autofocus. So it's the Recon 1. It's made out of AUS 8A steel. It is the blade is 4 inches long. The blade thickness, it's a pretty thick blade. It's 3.5 millimeters. The overall length is 9 3/8 inches. Like I said, it's an AUS 8A stainless. It's a black Teflon on it. So it's kind of a glossy looking, as opposed to I think it's, I don't know, there's like flat black finish, but I can't remember what that's called. It's 5.3 ounces, so it's pretty heavy. The handle is 5 3/8 inches. And, it's got a pocket clip right there. Mine's kind of beaten up, and I'll tell you, so is it back here, but Tex, before he sent it out, did some custom work on it. And he added some jimping to it. And that's from me right there. And he bent the pocket clip out so it wouldn't tear up my pocket. Unfortunately, this knife is too big to fit in most of my pockets. Sorry, I went to grab a pair of jeans to show you. I try to stick it in. It doesn't even reach the pocket clip. If I slant it, it prints like crazy. So, normally this sucker rides my purse. In a place where it's easily accessible. Alright, the G10 makes every other G10 you've ever felt in your entire life, such as my beloved Manix 2, literally feel like glass. This is the most textured G10, like seriously, I'm making a video. I really need to put a sign on my door. Really grippy G10. Your hand is not going anywhere. It's got a thumb stud opening. It's adjustable. The screw right here. There's a flathead. I don't think you can see that. Right there, flathead. You can just reverse it if you want to. No big deal. The old version has a thumb disc. This knife for me is not easily flicked out. I'm still in the process of working it in. Sometimes I'll flick over, but I have to use my hand. I tried loosening the pivot screw because it is a torque screw right here. I tried adjusting it. Can you hear that? A lot of blade play now down here. Like when it's locked, there's no blade play. Just when it's in its closed position, there's blade play. But I think I might tolerate because this is my beater knife. If I was going to go out back and baton some wood or needed to do any yard work or anything, I would definitely take this knife with me because it's just a beast knife and it's a knife that it's supposed to be used totally and completely. So, definitely a user for me. It's heavy, but it's not too heavy. Actually, bringing out the Manix again, which you would think would be two very different knives, but the sizes are comparable. The weight is comparable too. I'm not exactly sure. It is 5 3. This one only feels a little bit heavier. So, just keep that in mind. It's heavy, but it's not too heavy. Especially if you're looking for a defensive weapon or something to beat stuff up without, out back, if you're batoning or whatever. Tex said that he has the clip point version. I have the specs up on my computer, and they have the other versions, so let me just zoom in here. Alright, you can see those. There's other versions. We got a clip point half serrations, Tonto, and then a Tonto half serrations like I have it. The new one features the let's talk about the lock now. The new one features a triad lock, which at first I didn't like. Let's see. See that out here? It's like a back lock. There's actually a little bit of a gap right there. You can see it with my finger. Really freaking strong lock. Actually, we'll see if I can do it. If I lock it too hard, I think because I loosened it, it stopped. But I was doing this thing where it would lock, and I seriously, using all of my strength, like using both fingers, could not depress the lock. So I had to put it, let's show you, right here. I had to take it on the corner of my desk, which was dangerous because of this blade. So if you have to do this, be careful. And I had to like jam it down so it would unlock. It's kind of inconvenient. The first time it happened, I'm like, oh my god, this knife is going to be stuck forever. But I got it. But ever since I loosened it, it hasn't done that. And it's easier opening. The only thing is it shakes down there, which might be an issue for some people. I mean, I could tighten it back up, but then it's just more difficult to open. And so I'd rather take the play down here and take the easy opening. Came really sharp. Got a piece of cardboard right here. What is it, you ask? I already did a cut test. Little lightsaber. It lights up. It's also lip balm. Got it, Spencer, $7. Totally worth it. So yeah, we're gonna start a cut test with this and with my Mannix. So, gonna do a little bit of cut test here for you with this. That's just with the plain edge. Here's what the serrations involved too. Both really, really clean cuts. You can see. Let's see. Alright, so this was the plain edge version right here. Or the plain edge cut. This was the combination cut. So, both really clean cuts. Let's do something easier. Let's do a note card. And with the combo. I don't know how it got that curve on there. So, as you can see, pretty sweet when it comes to cutting. Oh, I had a point I wanted to talk about, but I forget what it was. Crap. Pocket clip, like I said, it's kind of small for as big of a knife as it is. Pretty small. Nothing fancy. Did this thing with this type of G10. Let me do a little G10 comparison here. Let me pull out my Skyline as well. Alright, so, hear this. Alright, and then this. And then this. So, this seriously feels so smooth compared to this. It's not even funny. Let's see. What else do we got to say about this knife? Oh, the nothing fancy thing. This sort of G10, he put this thing, but apparently it doesn't work. That's what I've heard from uncovered people. You got 2 finger controls right here. And with the jumping that Tex put on here, and the G10, seriously, I don't think you could yank this knife from my hands if you tried. It's not going anywhere. It's surprisingly comfortable for as big as it is. Let me take off my ring here. Really comfortable. It's a pretty comfortable knife. Tri-lug, thumb stud, pocket clip. I think I got it all. It is not a flow-through design, as you probably have seen, but I decided to point it out anyway. Oh, D10. That's what I was going to talk about, the D10. Extremely good on this knife. Let's do a little, what I like to call a guillotine test. I've done this before at work, so let's hope it works again. That's just from the detent of the knife. Using its own weight, just going like that. Don't believe me? I'll do it again. I don't think it worked that time. That's not me pushing it, that's just me dropping it. Ah, man. Didn't work that time. There we go, that was nice. Really clean cut just from the detent, so that's why it's difficult to open this knife, at least for me. I heard if you choke out a little bit on it, then it's easier, and that is true. But it's just a strong knife. So this thing, I believe it could baton through wood. Text said it's gone through sheet metal, and I was a bit skeptical of that, but I totally believe it. This thing is just a hoss. So if you're looking for heavy use blade, I would definitely go for the Cold Steel Recon one, especially if you're piercing. The Tonto is definitely the way to go for that. Nice thick blade. It's very awesome. So definitely want to check out the Cold Steel Recon one. This is Roxy saying rock on.